Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream, Soothing Sundays. Here we go. So, I live stream twice a week, and on Sundays at 5 p.m. Pacific, we get ready for the week. We regulate our nervous system. We get rid of any Sunday scaries, and put our goals and intentions out there to have the best week ever. And in this case, we're going to go over how to have the best. I keep saying biggest, so the biggest and best month for you yet. And so we'll go over intentions, and then I have a tool for you guys to make it the biggest and best month ever. And then on Wednesdays, I live stream at Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific. Sorry. So let me know if you have any questions about mental health. And on Sundays, especially, we celebrate our wins. So please let me know if you have any wins that you want to celebrate, as well as any intentions for the week. And speaking of intentions for the week, the Neurological Reprogramming tool of the week that we always go over on Sundays. It's just a tool to help rewire your brain to get what you want in life, is going to be around how to have the best productive week. And I just did a reel, or since we're on, I just did a post, so a YouTube short about this too. So in case you're missing it later, I'm going to go into more detail about it now though. So the Neurological Reprogramming tool of the week is you're going to list, and I do this in your phone because you always have your phone. And if you journal, which I always recommend you doing, if you don't, get a journal now and also put this in your journal. You want to list health, wealth, relationship, career, and spirituality. Spirituality is not religion. So if you're not religious, don't worry about that. It's just your universe. It's just your relationship with the universe, or manifesting, or nature, whatever you call your higher power, however you connect to the divine, all of that. Okay. So you're going to list health, wealth, relationships, career, spirituality. And then I want you to write one goal, just one thing that you've been working towards, that you have in mind, just one thing. Okay. If you want to be whatever, you can do two, but I want you to do one thing, and you're going to just really commit to it. Right. Because a lot of us we're so good at keeping our commitments to other people, or at work, even if it's we procrastinate, but we always get it done. But a lot of us, the last person that we keep our commitments to is ourselves. So this is an exercise for you to keep your commitment to yourself. So again, health, wealth, relationships, career, and then in each one, just write one goal. So for instance, if it's health, it will be, I'm going to drink X amount of water per day, or I'm going to work out for 20 minutes. I'm going to go for a walk after lunch or after work, or you know what? I'm going to get up 20 minutes early to go for that walk, get some sun in my face and on my skin, to, whatever it is, but commit to it. So you're going to write down the thing, and then you're going to write down all the reasons why it's so good for you to do that, why it's in your best interest for you to do that, just to remind yourself this is positive reinforcement. And then also write, and I'm going to keep this commitment to myself. So I'm committed to this for myself. And then the same thing with relationships. Now, relationships has two categories, because it's a relationship with yourself and others. So the relationship with yourself should be maybe, or I'm suggesting, I'm going to be nicer to myself. When my inner critic is acting up, I'm not going to pretend or convince myself that it's me. When I'm judging myself, I'm going to notice when my inner critic is trying to take the driver's seat or something like that. So how are you improving your relationship with yourself? And then you could have a relationship with, maybe pick one challenging relationship, or it doesn't even have to be challenging, one relationship that you would like to positively enhance, and write a goal there too. And then for your wealth and career. So wealth and career are two different things. Now, so your wealth can be, it could be I want to learn how to invest more money in the stock market, anything like that. And then, or I just want to be able to charge what I'm worth. If you have a business, I want to be able to comfortably receive money, things like that. So pick what that is for you. And then career it could be anything. I want to work less and receive more money. That's one I always encourage, especially with my clients, because it is possible, especially in this digital age, it is possible to work less and receive more money. And I think a lot of fear mongering and things want us to think otherwise, but that's not true. Okay. So you're going to put all of those in the notes section of your phone if you have an iPhone, or do it in a Google Doc, but also write it down, because when we write things down, it rewires the brain in a certain way. We get to remember things in a certain way, and we just solidify things in our nervous system when we write them down. So please do both. When I'm working with my clients, I always make sure that they do both. And then you get bonus points for doing this. Share it with someone like that can be an accountability buddy for you. So if you have an iPhone and you put it in the notes section in your phone, you share it, you just share the note, and they could look back and forth, and they could also do it too. And so you want, under each one, you write one thing, just one action step that you're going to do on a daily basis to move you towards that goal. And so every day you do it, you just hit the, on the iPhone, you could do it on a Google document too. You just, push the thing for when you have achieved that. So, let's see. I'm going to answer some of your questions too. Let me go on here so I could see it better. Is having friends online cheating even if you are not romantically involved? Having friends online. So there's cheating is like emotional cheating, and then the physical part of it. And I do think that the emotional cheating can be a more dangerous thing, because there's just, even though the physical cheating, people react very they get very triggered by it. But so are you being accused of this, or do you really feel like, is it just like a friendship? Because you can have friends online. I feel like everyone that, especially that's a regular on these live streams, are my friends. And on Instagram, and you have your regulars that you connect with on social media. They're friends, but there's nothing more than that. So, but if you really feel like if you're in a supposedly monogamous relationship and you are developing some kind of intimate feelings for someone, then it could be. It really just depends on the circumstance. It's not black and white. Like, if I have friends online at all, then I'm cheating. That's very like black and white thinking, and that's not true. The way, like, I'm pretty intuitive, and so the way that you're asking me that question, what was your name? For Google's sakes, I feel like you're being accused of something that may not be true, and you're frustrated. I could be wrong. Let me know. But yeah, people having friends online, there's plenty of online communities where people are just platonic and friendly, and that doesn't really mean anything besides that you're friends. And that's what I love about these online communities. And I'm still in the process. If you see in my description, I have a community that's set up, but I'm just having you guys look at it and let me know if you like it. But I might move to Discord. But anyway, let me know if you guys have opinions about that. But having online communities where you're supporting each other is great, especially if it's working towards a goal, keeping each other accountable. So I don't know, I would need more details about it. But in general, having online friends is not does not equate to cheating. Yes, emotional availability, of course, requires vulnerability. A lot of people are very uncomfortable with vulnerability and would rather just do the whole honeymoon phase over and over again, honestly. Um, Abel, think of any two heterosexual couples, statistically, one of four cheat. I mean, people cheat because they're not getting their needs. People cheat for two reasons, actually. If they actually if they have a personality disorder, or they are not willing to experience real vulnerability, that's why narcissists always cheat. and they're always, and borderline, like all of the personality disorders, because they have an unwillingness, they have the ability, but they're not willing to experience real vulnerability. So they get addicted to these drama cycles. They get addicted to the honeymoon phase or the love bombing phase. In psychology, it's called the idealization phase. So they would rather stay in that cycle and then blame you for why they have to leave. And it's just because it's getting too intimate, it's getting too real. That's the only reason they actually are jumping ship. So there's that type of cheating. And then there's the type of cheating where people honestly love their partners. I deal with this a lot in my private practice. Like, I love my wife or my husband. I do, but I'm just not like satisfied in whatever. Like, I've tried to talk to them about it a million times and they just don't care or whatever. And so they are getting their emotional and or physical needs met somewhere else. And but it still creates a divide, and it's still hard to manage, because most people ideally would love to have that with their husband or wife, but for whatever reason, because it's different for every situation, that isn't the case. Esther Perel does a lot of good work talking about that. Yes, my girlfriend blocked all of my females on Facebook. That's problematic. That's not. So for instance, if someone is that triggered, they're usually cheating. Like, if someone is like, you're blocking, like, I'm blocking all of your female contacts, like, that, they probably are prone to cheat, because you don't have that defensive of a reaction when, if you are emotionally stable and you trust the other person. But if you don't trust yourself, if you know that you're shady and cheat, you're not going to ever trust anyone else. So, and blocking everyone on your Facebook that is of the opposite sex is a very strong reaction that is in no way emotionally or psychologically healthy. So, I would definitely think about that. And I'm thinking that if she's doing that, that she's probably been triggered, like, in social situations. And, do you want to continue being under stress like that? And is it doing something for you to be in that stressful dynamic? Because a lot of times when there's situations like this, the person that's almost saying, not like acting like a victim, but in a way kind of, is getting something out of it. Maybe you kind of like that attention. Maybe it makes you feel like worthy or taken care of, or like someone cares, or, you could unconsciously be addicted to the drama or like get off on it too. So, and up in here on this channel, I want the best for you. So, and I want you to understand your unconscious motivations for things and bring it to consciousness, so you could have the best health, wealth, relationships, career, everything. So that requires a little bit of like, hey, I got to keep it real in these streets. So that is something to think about. Let's see, where did I leave off? Yeah. Yeah, it's just a really obvious indication of someone that probably cheats. Okay, married women do not make the best girlfriends. That's not what we're about here. So let me know if you have any questions about mental health, relationships, and also celebrate your wins for the week. Like, what went right for you this week? How did you move towards your goals, or becoming the version of yourself that you want to be, or that you're working towards? And also put out there, you can do it in the comments. Let us know what you're working toward, like what you are committing to yourself this week. It's like, fuck, I've been putting this off for months, maybe a year. Like, I've been thinking about this since last August. This is the month you do it. Okay. I'm feeling like such good vibes about this month. This is the month that it's all coming together for you. So what is it that you're putting out there? Let's see. I tolerate it, but it doesn't feel right when I bring it up. It's an argument. So you don't need to be bullied into submission. So if someone has really toxic behavior like that and your boundaries are getting pushed and they what I call bully into submission where they can just yell and scream at you until you stop, that's being bullied and manipulated. And that is the opposite of love and safety. And I always am telling you guys, I want you to have relationships where you feel safe and seen and heard and it's secure. So this is the opposite of security. It's like chaotic and you know you're walking on eggshells and all of this. So you might, and I feel like you're asking this or even bringing this up because what's your name? Again, I like to say people's names, but for Google's sake, like because you are starting to not tolerate it. It's starting to not work for you, right? You wouldn't have brought it up. And thank you for your vulnerability. And because it's also going to help so many other people who are in situations like this. I also want to say, I'm assuming that you're a guy, not that it matters either way, but there is this bias. Like if she was a man doing that to you and you were a woman, it would be abusive. It would be like, but it's still abusive. It's abusive regardless of what your gender is. That's my point. But if like a woman was like, you know, if she made a TikTok like, oh my God, my boyfriend went on my Facebook and deleted all the guys, it would be like, oh my God, you know what I mean? So the same exists for you. It's still abusive. And so the fact that, you know, again, going back to the fact that I want you, all of you watching, you deserve to be in relationships where you are seen, heard, supported, and feel safe. So if you're not, if it's just like, I'm going to delete all of your stuff on Facebook or like you're worried about this happening or no, you know, I understand. Hi Bones. How are you? Hi Jabari. How are you guys? But if that is the case where you're literally walking on eggshells and you're worried about stuff, you know, your relationships are there in general to help you become better. They should be amplifiers. And sometimes that does involve like healthy conflict resolution. That should be a part of it. But this is unhealthy conflict resolution where someone just yells at you until they get their way. That's called manipulation and control. So it's something to think about. We don't do that here. Happy Sunday, Jabari. Let's see. 11 years single because I'm emotionally unavailable. Well, at least you have self-awareness. And that's the thing, like if being emotional, like if being vulnerable is not your thing, then fine. Then you have to be okay with having superficial relationships and not blaming. So this is one thing that I'm not saying you're doing this, but narcissists do this a lot, the personality disorders. They're like, oh yeah, everyone, like, you know, I'm single because it's just like, I don't know, no one can meet my standards or this and that. It's like, no, you're the problem type of thing. And so at least be aware of it. At least be aware of like, oh, I don't want to do that. You know, I am not emotionally available to have a real relationship. Real relationships are very rewarding. They make you better. They make the other person. It's just this nice synergy in a safe couple bubble. That's what I call it. So in your couple bubble, no one else is in there, right? You're not worried about every freaking female on Facebook or in life. You know, you have your safe couple bubble where you guys are safe, whether, you know, you are continents apart, like if someone's on a work trip or, you know, whatever, or you're right next to each other, you're in a safe couple bubble. And a lot of you guys know what it's like to be in a relationship and maybe even sitting right next to someone and feel so alone. So I'm talking about the opposite of that, where you have this safety and you can show up and you can be yourself, even when it's not cute, even if it's like, I'm being triggered by this. So because your relationships are a mirror, they're supposed to mirror everything. And relationships, whether they're safe or unsafe, help us be aware of wounds maybe unconscious wounds. Hey, Miss Priya, how are you? Maybe unconscious wounds that we haven't been able to look at, or conscious wounds where it's like, oh shit, here's this dynamic again. But it's a chance to heal that, to have a different reaction to it, to not, a lot of times when we have, let's say, like you have a narcissist in your life and you're attracting that, or some type of toxic relationship, and it's like, oh shit, not this again. It's just a mirror, right? And it's just an opportunity to heal and release that dynamic. Because when you are living in that state, you're not even living in the present moment. You're remembering an old reaction from your mom or that toxic caregiver that did that, that you still haven't healed. So it's just an opportunity to heal that ancient thing that still exists in your nervous system. So it's really an opportunity to do that, because I have clients, they get so down on themselves, and I've been there too, where it's like, oh fuck, I'm repeating this dynamic again. I've done so much work. I thought I was over this. What the hell? And they get really just down on themselves and judging themselves. Like, am I ever going to get what I want? Am I ever going to have this healthy relationship with the opposite sex, money, myself, my career, whatever it is? It could really be about anything. And it's like, I understand the inner critic's need and almost a job to like criticize you, like, oh, here we go again, blah blah blah, because your inner critic wants you to stay small, wants you to continue to judge yourself and be hard on yourself. So you can notice, okay, inner critic, you're judging me, just go in the corner, or don't, like, you don't even go here, leave, like ask the inner critic to leave, and then say, okay, this is wonderful. I have a wonderful opportunity to finally release this, to have a new relationship with love, intimacy, money, my career, how I show up for myself. Yay, let's celebrate that. Like, I can do it differently this time, especially if you are actually in the present moment and you're not living, remember, like I was saying before, you're not living from a place of the past. So you're not repeating an old pattern, because most of us think like when we're reacting to something, we're reacting from a place of like we're remembering an old pattern and we're just doing that again. But if you can be in the present moment and respond and be a present responder instead of reacting from the past, that is where the healing happens. It's like, okay, here's that pattern again, whatever it is, any outcome or any cycle, any pattern in your life that you don't like, you, okay, oh, here it is again. Okay, let's have a completely different reaction to it. Let's look at my beliefs. So if I have this thing happening again in my life, what do I have to believe about myself? Probably unconsciously, like, just, but and I'm not trying to like call you out, or just, I'm not trying to I don't know, some people get offended, like, I'm not trying to offend you, but it's there. And I've had to look at these things and it's like, oof, really? I still have that unconscious belief that isn't even mine. My shitty mom or dad told me that, and I somehow absorbed that as a belief when I was a child because I didn't know any better. That's all it is. Okay. And it's just a chance for you to release it. So it's like, okay, what do I unconsciously believe about myself or my capabilities or what I deserve to have or what I feel worthy of that isn't true? What do I get to release? If I don't have the love, the money, the job that I want, the relationship that with myself, if I can't show up for myself in these ways, what is it? And then notice what it is and then let it go. Like, you really don't have to, if you want to dig into it with someone, with a therapist, or you could just decide, I'm going to drop that story. That's actually not true about me. I'm going to just drop it. If it's like, I'm not worthy of having the money that I want or having the love that I want. Hey, Bob, good to see you. Then you could just drop it. It could go from literally, like, for instance, if you, because we're talking about money last week, if it's like, okay, don't have the type of financial situation that I want. Okay, well then maybe part of you doesn't feel worthy of that. And you uncovered that. It could be totally unconscious, right? And then you could just say, okay, I'm going to drop that story. And I'm going to tell myself all the time and really trust that I am worthy of whatever the hell I want. And I don't have to do a bunch. I don't have to sacrifice. I just get to have it because I'm me. Okay, I get to have a loving, healthy, safe relationship because I'm just me and because I want it. Because your desires are divinely placed in your heart for you to have. They're just meant for you to immediately have. So we don't have the ego and the inner critics like, oh yeah, but you have to work hard and you have to sacrifice all this stuff. And like, maybe you could have a decent relationship, but it's going to be chaotic and full of drama. Like, no, you get to just have a nice, safe, healthy relationship. Okay. That's what your higher power, God, source, whatever you call it, wants for you. So remembering that. Let me scroll back up. Abel, last year I found someone, but I wasn't the only one they talked to. Well, I mean, like when you're in the nascent in the beginning stages of talking to someone, like in the talking stage, they can talk to whoever they want. In fact, they can do that until you have a conversation about monogamy and whatever. So who cares? Underboss, single and celibate since the ending of 2022 because what? But nice. I mean, I do think that there's a lot of power because I do think there's a lot of power in taking a pause. So many people after a relationship, and it typically there's a correlation between insecurity, emotional immaturity, and the inability to like really look at yourself. So when a relationship ends, you immediately move to a new one. And it's like, well, I got to prove that I'm worthy, or like I don't want people will think I'm not, what is it? Like people will think that I'm not desirable, or like they're so worried about what it means, and also, or they're so worried about what it looks like to other people, and they also don't want to take any accountability for themselves or actually look at themselves because they might find out something that they don't like about themselves. Like and this is pretty common. Like I have a covert narcissist. Excuse me. I have a covert narcissist ex. Okay, and I referred to him as I have nicknames for all of them. I call him Tallbeard, but then I started calling him Heated Rivalry because of that show. But anyway, so we have a lot of friends, and all of them are like, oh my gosh, he just keeps moving on to the next one, the next one. And I'm like, yeah, because if he stops and looks at himself, he'll realize that he has to confront the fact that he's like actually gay. Like, and he is like, he's freaking like gay. Like, and like a lot of covert narcissists that are men that hate women. And so it's like, he doesn't want to do that. He'd rather just date the next girl while he like, I don't know, jacks off to hockey games and like, I don't know, like he's just like super obsessed with hockey players. So, but that happens a lot. And then that's why these narcissists and borderlines and everything, they have like people in the background so they don't have to look at themselves. Plus they have an addiction to the drama of it all. And plus, especially with the narcissists, they have an addiction to the idealization phase. So there's that cycle. And but if you really take time to just take a break, even be celibate, that's even better, and go within, do the inner work, look at patterns that you don't like, it is so powerful. I'm not saying it's easy, especially in the beginning, but it's so powerful. Abel, I think about them long after they left, longer than they were around. It's not fun. Abel, watch my video. It's like it was from a live stream, and it was about how to get over obsessive thoughts. It's like a whole workshop I did on how to stop obsessive. Like it's not even just stopping them, like, because what we resist persists, but it's releasing those thoughts. And so you can really not have this person live rent free in your mind all the time, because there's part of your brain that hates unresolved things. So it'll continue to obsess and loop about it. But if you can understand what that relationship was there to teach you, and what it was there for you to benefit from, and also if you're looping something in your mind all the time about someone, it's triggering an abandonment wound. And so it's a really amazing opportunity for you to finally release that abandonment wound. So think of it that way. Abel, is that because you don't want to do this in another relationship, it'll keep repeating and then you'll obsess about that person. So at the end of the day, or the like base level of it, is you releasing that abandonment wound forever. So you're just so comfortable. You're attracting safe people that can show up for you, that are emotionally evolved. That's what you want anyway. But when we release that abandonment wound is how we do that. Jabari, I'm feeling good, Lauren. Love that. Thank you for all of the amazing mind shifts and amplifiers. You're welcome. I just had an incredible breakthrough where I finally feel and know how feelings drive branding and pricing. Hell yeah, I freaking love that. That is amazing breakthrough. And, especially when you are And I mean, even if you don't work for yourself, but just knowing your worth, and being able to be comfortable with that, like, hey, yes, here's my pricing for whatever it is. But especially like if you're an entrepreneur, but even if you're wanting a raise or you're interviewing for a new job and they're asking you, it's like, yeah, this is my worth. This is what, and it's like a very spiritual thing, to do that. Abel, I used my paid time off as mental. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Bob made it back at the end of the stream. Nice. Hope everyone is doing well. Bob, we're so happy to have you here. Hi, Bob. Jabari says, good. Hope you're doing well. If your mom told you you can't make money, Eunice, that is her projecting her insecurities onto you. And you get to say, you know what, that's not mine to carry. Like when my clients tell me things like this from their parents or whatever, it's kind of like transgenerational trauma. Like, I feel unworthy. I feel incapable of doing anything. I feel like a piece of shit or whatever. And I'm going to pass that on to my children. You just think of it as a big, heavy rock that you can just drop it. You could roll it back to her, or you can just like release it into the ether and watch it turn into something else, because energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only be transmuted. But the point is that you don't take that on. And you just decide right now, that is not mine to take on. That is your insecurity. That is your dark energy, and has nothing to do with my gifts, skills, talents, and abilities. Thank you very much. And I release that for good. Abel, Eunice, you can reach wealth. Sometimes mom's lack of faith. It's not even that. I just think it's a projection of your mom's insecure. And you know what? You know what I hate to say, but it's true. And this has been true for me. And it's very devastating when you realize it. But some people, including your parents, are so mentally ill or insecure that they don't want their children to succeed. Because if their children will do better than them, that they see it as a reflection of their own ineptitude or their own lack of whatever, because everything's about them. Like, a lot of narcissistic parents do this. So most normal people want their child to succeed, and they're really proud of them. But if you succeed in any type of way, that is so threatening to them. I mean, it's like ridiculously threatening to them, which is so sad when you realize that a parent doesn't want that for you. So that is something to grieve, but realize that you get to have all the wealth and all the success in every area of your life, Eunice, and anyone that's listening. Oops, I lost my place. Oh, darn it. Where are the comments? Live chat, here we go. Bob, anyone can make money. Yes, I don't know why she would say that, Eunice. You are definitely capable. Exactly. You are capable, and you are hearing this right now to know how capable you are. You're very capable and talented, and whatever's in your heart to do, do it. Every successful person, like super successful person, has told me, just do what you love and the money shows up. Abel, mental health hacker, what happens to me happens in superheroes. It's a mental thing. Yeah, your higher power can keep you sane. Jesus can keep you sane. Return to the source. Should we give more strategies on how to uncover? Oh, you should give more strategies on how to uncover the subconscious and unconscious thoughts or feelings buried inside. Asking questions is one strategy. What are others? Well, welcome to the channel, You Are the Source, because that is like literally what my whole channel's about. So yeah, I constantly in every post, every live stream, answer that in different ways. There's so many different strategies. So yeah, asking questions is one thing. And you ask the question, you could ask it to your inner critic. You can also ask it to, like, if you've actually been here for a long time, you know about inner child work, and you could ask your inner children, like, what are you afraid of? Why are you having, because I promise you, it's an ancient reaction that's in your nervous system that's making you scared or making you feel unworthy. So ask that 8-year-old version of you, ask that teenage version of you, what are you afraid of? Who told you these things? and then reparent that person and be like, you know what, you are so capable. You deserve everything, and you get to have that now. I'm sorry that in the past you didn't get that, but now it's 2026, or whenever you're saying this, it's like now it's today, and you get to have all of those things, and you are safe and you are loved now. But there's so many. That's why I continuously create content. Jabari, really? Why is your ex gay? It sounds like you. There's a lot of I made some content on this, but there's a lot of men that are narcissistic and they hate women. I mean, they come off like they're very charming in the beginning, but because they're secretly gay, they just are. And so I'm like, just be gay. And also I need to post that. I posted one about like how women are this way too. There's tons of women that actually hate men, but they'll date them and, get married to them and all this stuff. But so I'm not just saying that men do this. Both men and women do this, and they both have issues. I'm just saying, I feel like they should just all move to an island together and like do what they want. You know what I mean? Like, leave us alone. But like so yeah, it is true. And like, they usually, like, for instance, my ex was like, yeah, I'm so manly, and all these models want to date me. Like, bitch, no one's trying to date you. Like, I mean, stop, please. Like, and so but it's just like this hyper masculine. I mean, he told me that he used to be homophobic, but then he's tried to stop being homophobic because his brother's gay, when he found out his brother's gay. And there's just a lot of things, but it's a lot more common. If you go, especially on my Instagram, I have one of those videos pinned, and just read the comments. There are so many comments about women that have had the same experience. So that's why I'm saying it's pretty common. Bob, I can confirm as a borderline, LOL, I bounced around for a while before I took my time off dating. The alone time was super valuable. For real, Bob. Yeah. And it's not just like a borderline thing. It's like, taking time to do that is really it's really profound, like, again, like, the kingdom is within. Everything you need is within you. And some people, we want to do anything except look inside of us. And like, it's just hard to be present and in the moment. That's why people have a hard time meditating. It's not because it's like, oh, I have ADD and it's hard to sit still. It's just hard to like really be in the present moment. But if you do that, I'm telling you, it's so powerful. Miss Priya, there were a bunch of media articles going out to contact with certain family members a bad trend. It's not a trend. Why is social media narrative trying to make it bad? Yeah, like Oprah was calling it a trend, and it's like, it's not a trend at all. It's been going on for a while, but I feel like we have been closeted about it. I think on here more than in posts, I talk about like I've been non-contact with one of my narcissistic parents for like 6 years now, and it's been the best thing I ever did. But it's also really heartbreaking. Like, no one wants to not have contact with their family members, and so it's not like a bad trend, like, oh, this is cute and we're gonna, like, a bad trend is like barrel jeans. A bad trend is, I don't know, bell bottoms. Please don't bring those back, fashion industry. I can't do that again. That's a bad trend. But going non-contact with a narcissistic family member is kind of the last thing. Where you get to a rock bottom moment where you emotionally, physically, psychologically, you're done, you're spent. And they just think that, okay, I'm going to do my thing. I'll say sorry. Things will calm down for a little bit. Then I'm going to go back to my thing, because everything's about me. I don't take accountability for anything. And everyone around me enables my behavior. And so you're going to too. And my whole objective is to manipulate and control you. And so, especially now, like, as we spiritually evolve, it's like, no, I do not have the capacity or room in my life for anyone, even if it's my parent, one of my parents or parents, to literally only be in my life to emotionally deteriorate me constantly. So as someone that's been through that, it is a very difficult decision to make. You try everything, every single thing. I told my narcissistic mom, I was like, okay, let's do family therapy. You pick the therapist, because as soon as the therapist calls you out, it's going to be, you're going to try to blame it on me if I pick the therapist. Immediately the therapist is like trying to call her out. That didn't work. Like, you try everything and they don't have the ability to take accountability for everything or really change. So you have to grieve this parent that you never even really had. When we have abusive parents, we keep chasing this love that we never got. And so that's what we keep trying to do, the emotional repair. And we're coming from a sane place of like, you see it, right? Like, you want to have a relationship with me. And this child part of you who's longing for that love is like, even as an adult, is like, but that child part of you is crying like, why can't you be the mom or the dad that I want you to be, that you never were, by the way. And so we release that, but it's not just going non-contact. We have to heal these parts of ourselves. This is why inner child work can be so important. It's just any type of inner work. We have to heal those parts of ourselves, because if we don't, then we will attract partners that do the same thing. And we're just repeating that toxic cycle of like not receiving the love that we want. So we do the work so we attract healthy relationships into our lives. And like, when you start doing that work, you might have some friends drop off, but I promise they'll get replaced with healthier people that actually love and support you. And I promise you that every part of your life will get better. Your health, your wealth, your relationships, your career, your connection with source, God, especially because, and I've noticed this, it's like you unconsciously project your relationship with your toxic parents onto God. So it's like, oh, my parents weren't there for me, so why would God be? My parents made me feel like I had to go out, like overly prove and like myself, and I had to work so hard to just get a little bit of love. So God probably feels that way about me too. And so you just start to know that that's not true, that you are unconditionally loved and provided for constantly. So it's a beautiful evolution, but it's difficult sometimes. Yeah, good question. Um, Hi, Linda. Someone once said that only a father wants a son to be better than him. A healthy parent. Jabari, Lauren, it's true. What we love is the purest form of bringing together all the people who care about us and what we do. Yes, I think I know what you mean. Bringing together people that care about us and what we do. Yes, that's what your support system should be. Easy on the caps. Yeah, we don't do all caps here. I'm reading everything, trust me. Linda, but some men are against women because they feel challenged by being turned down. Yeah, like insecure men, like let's just not deal with them. Yeah, and like I'm sorry, but being rejected, it's like rejection is God's protection. Like get over it. Like when people are like that, and when in this case insecure men, they're gonna feel threatened by everything. So it's not your job. But again, we want to focus. I focus on the fact that the men in my life are amazing to me, and whether they're clients or friends, or that's the only people I have in my life. Everyone else can fuck off. I'm a repellent to that. Bob, I always look a little sideways when dudes try too hard to be masculine. Yeah. It's like that. It's like that Andrew Tate shit. One of my clients just sent me a video, and it was just some red pill bullshit. Like, oh yeah, all women cheat and all this stuff. And I'm like, gay. Like, you're gay. Like, if you're saying that, you're either so insecure or like you hate women because you want to be one so you could, go have sex with dudes. Like, again, you guys should just all move to an island and go fuck each other and leave us alone. Like, because we have evolving to do, and go away. The water bear, has it occurred to you that some men could also be right about women in general? Yeah. Yeah, of course. There are toxic people, like men and women. This isn't like a gender thing at all. Jabari, interesting, Lauren. I get what you're saying now. Oh wow, homophobic, that's lame. It's true. Yeah. Yeah. Bob, generalizations aren't helpful in individual relationships though. there may be some truth to stuff like that, but in general, it's problematic if you paint everyone in your negative experiences. Exactly. I feel like your negative experiences are there to teach you. Everyone in your life is a teacher, especially things that trigger you. Your triggers are your teachers. So, and the world is a mirror, but especially relationships, they're a mirror. So when we don't want to become one of these people that's like, oh, I had this bad experience and now all men are this way or all women are this way. No, that is very emotionally immature. And it's a form of not taking any accountability. And so what I mean by that is like, okay, I had this experience that I didn't like. What can I learn from it? And what could I do to not like energetically attract this again? Because it's in my energy field and I don't want it to be. So what can I do? Because I am the creator of my life. I am the director, the screenwriter, the main character. So what can I do to completely take accountability for this and stop that cycle and have a better, like play a better movie? Jabari, yeah, I wish everyone had an amazing relationship. I do too. Hi, Happy. Water Bear, you need the fashion industry to not bring back bell bottoms so you don't feel compelled to wear them. I'm making a joke. Release with love and peace. Yes, we want to release things with love and peace. So, even with people that are toxic people, we release them. I say release with love instead of like amputate. So some people are like, fuck you. And there is a point where you want to, it's just time to draw that boundary with someone, or it is time to block them. But we want to always just let go with love. I always think that's the best thing, even if it's a habit or something, but especially with people that are really not serving you. They're not, they're just toxic at this point. Like, you've learned the lessons, you've tried, and going back to cutting off family members or going non-contact. It's heartbreaking, but yeah, there's a time to just let go with love. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not allowing you to be in my life. I forgive you for everything, but having you in my life is not helpful in any way. Bob, she isn't a fan of the trend. Don't take it seriously. Exactly. I mean, some people just like want to like ridicule because one, they're addicted to it. Like, and again, people are like addicted to like judging. Like, it's incredible. But so whatever. I can just laugh at that. Aries 77, take accountability for your actions. Yes, we all should. What do you want to shout out for, Abel? We've gone over here. I hope you never go viral so I can ask you questions. Or we can have an abundance mindset about things and I go viral and I still answer your questions. Like, both can exist. Let's have an abundance mindset, you guys, especially as we move into this new month and week, like with everything. If you have scarcity mindset about anything, your life is going to be scarce and it's not going to be good, I could also never go viral and never answer one of your questions again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think from an abundance mindset. Hi, Peter. So good to see you. How have you been? Hi, Lauren. I try to manifest myself that I'm in control. Or you could just say that you are in control. Family is something we don't choose. I try to overlook saying they don't know any better. No, you don't have to give them that excuse because they probably do know better. But I empathize with them. The struggle is real. So you don't have to excuse their behavior with they don't know any better, because they probably do. Because you've probably mentioned 800 times that your boundaries are what you like and don't like. So they fucking do know better. I am a big, like, this whole learned helplessness thing, like, oh, we're just from this generation, or I'm just a dumb guy, or I'm just a helpless little girl. No, you're not, bitch. You're not. Okay. And I'm very empathic. I'm very nurturing with people that actually want help, but no one gets to say they don't know any better. I'm sorry, they do. Like, you've told them a million times, they know better. They are choosing to not acknowledge your feelings, your experience, or provide any type of safety or support for you. They are making that choice, Peter. And that's what we get to acknowledge and grieve a lot of the times. It's like, how can you be my parent and not freaking care? I did that a lot. I remember like literally, and I didn't feel like I could really show up and like do this work until I personally released and healed this. But I'm like, how is it that I have a parent that just doesn't, it was like mind boggling to me. Like it just really, it was heartbreaking for me. And so I had to do the work of healing for that. It's like they do know better, but they are making a choice to be addicted to drama, to not take any responsibility for themselves. And I got to be okay with that. And I got to let that go. And I have to go where the love is. I'm always telling you guys, go where the love is. So, and the more you do that, the more you love yourself, the more you will attract what really does serve you and is supportive in all of the things. So, yes. No religious debate here, Bob says. Yeah, let's keep things like mental health, relationship related. And like, I mean, I'm very spiritual, right? Anytime I talk about higher power, whatever you call it, whenever I work with a new client, one of the first things I ask them is, what is your spiritual orientation? Like, what do you like? Do you have God? Do you, because I want to talk that language. And I know a lot about different spiritual orientations, but it's not like this isn't a religious channel. Yes, appreciate you understanding. Red limits. Thank you for the warning and not straight up banned. We love you. We love everyone here. Aries, do you let people get under your skin? No, not really. And if something is getting under my skin, again, your triggers are your teachers. I'm like, oh, that's information. And I'll just look at it as information. And that is really liberating. And that's one thing I want for all of you guys, to get to a point where that level of freedom is so nice. It frees up so much mental and emotional energy for you to be creative, for you to sleep well at night, for you to make more money. And so, yeah, I would not let someone get under my skin. I would not give my precious energy away in that way. But if I am triggered by something, I definitely look at it. Because it's helping me understand something within myself that isn't serving me, and I get to release. Jabari, yeah, Linda, I felt that way. I've always been for women, yet the rejections have hurt. I've learned that rejections can occur because of cultural. I mean, they could recur for lots of reasons. Rejection is redirection. Jason, hello from Hollywood. Hi, Jason. How are you? Abel, I shouldn't feel guilty about cutting anyone off, even the good one. I mean, I'm just saying, like, after you, it's again, it's detaching with love. It's letting go with love. And so, but cutting someone off is like, if you're not amputating, if it's not like, I'm fucking done with you, like that type of thing. It's drama. It's like, but if you've stated your thing over and over again and you've really tried, it's like, yeah, I get to let this go. And I don't know what even the good one means. I mean, is it good for you? Someone could say that they're good, but is it healthy for you to have this energy, to have this person in your life, is the question you have to ask yourself. Shane the man, can you say a prayer for me? Okay, yeah, we're sending you lots of love. I don't really want to pray out loud on this channel, but we're sending you a lot of love, and I'm sorry that you are going through that. That's terrible. Gary, watching from Edmonton, Alberta. Hey, Gary. Nice to see you from Canada. Bob, it's good for you. I don't personally think you have anything to feel bad about. Abel, you can separate, yeah, in a kind way. Exactly, Bob. Dang, Shane, that's intense. We will pray for you. Yes, we're all sending prayers and thoughts. I'm really sorry. Thank you. I haven't ever had a broken bone. Now I have screws, but as long as my kids are okay, yes. We are all sending you so much love and prayers. And definitely, I pray at least once a day, and I will do that for as soon as I get off of this live stream and when I go to bed tonight, we will be praying for you and sending you all that love and energy. The water bearer, I feel like you're just trying to make a buck. What? No. You understand this is a free fucking live stream. Okay. So if I wanted to make a buck, it would be different. Thank you, Abel. And this is a place where I am creating like a healthy, like safe space for you guys to talk about things and answer your questions. So the water bearer, like I like get the fuck out of here. Like we don't need you here if you're just trying to criticize. Honestly. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Bob. The water streams are entirely free. Oh yeah. Bob, we're like thinking the same thing. She's doing this for us. It's not for you. You don't have to stay. That's what I'm saying, bitch, leave. Like why are you like some people are just addicted. Like some people think so badly of themselves that they like are addicted to judging other people. And that's one thing, like if you have that addiction, social media, like those people really run to social media and then start to criticize everything. And I'm just like, ew, what a loser. Yeah, that's rough, Shane. I'm glad everyone is still here, though. Yeah, me too. Me too, Shane. I mean, me too, Bob, and also Shane. Like, I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, you can just put him in a timeout. Like, who cares about him? Everyone tap the screen. Oh, thank you, Mago. Bob, you're lucky to be alive. Yes. C. Martin Love balances striving for future milestones with, oops, with maintaining deep consciousness awareness in the present moment. Nice. Martin Love, recognizing you can't force someone else to change, letting people face the natural results of their own choices, shifting your energy back to your own. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like in 12 step they have this like saying that's like they have a higher power and it's not you, is just like such a concise way to put it, especially when you care and you really want someone's outcome to be different or less stressful for it, but they keep repeating cycles. It's like they have a higher power, they have their God, and it's not you. And that's really hard. And sometimes we care more about someone else's outcome than they do. And that sucks. It's like, okay, have you tried this? Have you tried this? And they're like, have an excuse for everything. And with people like that, it could be really frustrating, but we get to let go with love. And really, we have to give someone, even if it's hard to watch, you guys, like we have to give people the dignity to have their own experience. We have to give people the dignity to have their own life and make mistakes. When I work with parents, that's sometimes a concept I'm introducing for the first time because, they're parents and they want the best for their kid or whatever, but it's kind of like, yes, and you are providing the best for their kid, like I'm working directly with their kid, but you also have to give them the dignity of failing. I mean, that's how we literally, when we have uncomfortable situations, like our brain grows, our neural connections between the both lobes grow, but there are certain parts of the brain that enlarge and become more active when we have a challenging situation and we overcome it or we get better from it. We learn something about ourselves, we become more emotionally mature. And typically every area of our life gets better from that challenging situation. So we don't want to shy away from challenging situations, and we don't want to overprotect people from not having a challenging situation or going through that, even if it's really hard to watch. So yeah, that's good awareness, Martin. Jabari, yes, Shane, got you covered. Sorry about the car accident. I'm glad you and your family are okay and alive. Yes, we're all very happy to hear that. Please, yes, sending you lots of healing vibes. Aries, I stumbled onto your channel. I find it very interesting. Love it. Thank you, Aries. I'm an Aries too. I'm assuming your name is Aries because you might be an Aries. Aries in the building. Love Aries. Bob, got you, LOL. Hi, Hassan. How are you? Thank you, Terrence. Eugene, what was the word narcissist called before that? I don't know what it was called before that. It didn't have a name. Probably just like really toxic people that drive you crazy. Oh, interesting question, Eugene. Hey, people. I'm a Leo. Hey, Steven. Nice. We got some Leos in the building. Happy birthday, you guys. Happy birthday. If Brianna's watching this live stream, happy birthday, Brianna. I saw her in the comments. I think she's turning 15. What a warrior. She's one of our regulars. So hello. Wow. That hour went by fast. So let me know if you have any other questions related to mental health, relationships. Also, any wins you have for the week. Do you have anything that you're so proud of yourself about, even if it's little? Because whatever we give energy to grows. Whatever we give energy to expands. If you are so grateful for the $5 in your bank account, that could turn into 500 or 5,000 or 50,000. Seriously. So really, what's going right for you? One, and what intentions do you have for the week? What is one thing that you are going to commit to yourself this week that is going to move you towards something that you want to be, do, or have, like a healthier version of you, a wealthier version of you? And it means it's like a mindset shift, like out of a scarcity mindset. I'm telling you guys, that's the key to everything. Instead of being like, oh my God, my metabolic out for Bob to just get this. Let's like it's gonna just be in the mail. Okay. We can't keep doing this. Like DMV. Like let's just give Bob his ID already. Oh. But very good that you didn't lose your shit, especially with DMV people. Jesus, it's like so difficult sometimes, right? It reminds me of if you guys watch Parks and Rec, you know, they do such a good job of making a comedy out of like government people and like their typical, I don't know, attitude towards like their job in a really funny way. I freaking love Parks and Rec. If you need a show to raise your vibration, watch Parks and Rec. It's just so funny. Peter, my win for the first time in my relationship, I am truly and solely putting myself I think you met yourself first. It is scary and weird. It feels liberating. I will get better. Yes. Yay. We love that. And it is scary at first. You know, feel safe in this relationship. I deserve to have these boundaries. These are basic boundaries. So proud of you, Peter. I know that's really hard at first. Love it. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Yes, putting yourself first is so, you know, when you're not used to that. So I'm so happy for you. And I hope that you're giving yourself a lot of props and a lot of love for that too. Let's see. It's a work in progress. Yeah, but at some point I hope it becomes me. It is. I will get there. Yes, you will. You're becoming it. So another good thing to do is 11th for a duplicate. Okay, we're sending the vibes out. It's going to all be resolved on the 11th. Word nerd. That wealth pastor told me the same thing, but I needed to send him. Oh God. Bob, IKR. They've been so incompetent with I know. I'm so sorry. I hate that. That's true. I've had that before. And when I had that, I had to go down the DMV like several times. And I was just like almost in tears. I'm like, I can't, like, I have a job. Like, I can't be here all the time, like in these streets of the DMV, just hanging out. Like, I have things to do and I can't do this. But I also don't want to like get in trouble or whatever. So when I had that happen, I manifested that I'm never having any type of DMV drama ever. Like, it's just like, I only have the best relationship with the DMV. Oh, always, all the time. And for whatever reason, I got my car registration thing and it was like the lowest fee ever. And I'm like, oh yeah, because I manifested having an amazing relationship. I turned this shit around because I'm the creator of my life and no one else is. Jabari, oh wow, Bob. Thank you for patience. Good idea, Lauren. Bob, I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you too for receiving the ID. John, Hi from Rocky Point, Sonora, Mexico. Hello. Yeah, congratulations, Peter. Bob, it gets easier the more you do it, Peter. You'll definitely get there. Keep up the good work. Hell yeah. Stephen, feeling appreciation for the health in this vibe for everyone here. Good. We're sending you love, Stephen. Peter, thanks, Bob. Bob, we appreciate you, Stephen. Yes, we do. The explanation doesn't really make sense. So I personally think it's more spiritual. I think a lot of things are mostly spiritual. Stephen, all guys in here, 10 push-ups right now. Bob, I'm just mind blown that it took 3 months to find it was already labeled delivered when they've been telling me it's getting sent back. It's like, so I've been battling with the DMV. Oh my God. It's going to be over soon. It's going to be over. You're never going to have everything with you and the DMV is going to be smooth from now on. You guys. Not cool, Nancy. Too many diagnosed with ADHD anxiety. Yeah, I'm aligned. I don't think anyone needs pills. And I think that ADHD is just a trauma response. I've made many videos about that. It's just a trauma response. But the pharmaceutical industry is like, oh, why don't we name it this? And say this, and then we could get kids frying their brains on this. Like, I can't tell you how many people in their 40s and younger I have that are like, oh, I'm trying to get off these ADHD meds that I've been on since I was like, your brain wasn't even fully freaking formed. And you are having this, oh my God, it just pisses me off. If you're a peptide person, though, I have been hearing that retatrutide is amazing for ADHD. Like, people are getting off their ADHD meds that they've been on since they were like kids, like a teenager, from taking Retta. And Retta is like it's a GLP-3. So, but I don't know, maybe microdosing it if you don't want to lose weight. But I'm loving all this stuff that I'm hearing about peptides and it positively affecting people's mental health. So the more I learn about that, the more I'll share with you guys. Peter, once again, thanks, Lauren. You have been a huge part of my healing. Oh, and will continue to share my wins. Thank you. That's why I do this. I love hearing that. I'm so proud of you, Peter. And yes, please continue to share your wins. You're very inspiring to us all. And people that are going through the same thing, it's like you are an inspiration. Like, you can move through these things. You can go from like being in these toxic relationships where you feel so oppressed and like taken advantage of, to really standing your ground and having good boundaries and healthy relationships. And we're so proud of you, Peter. Love you. Bob, that's awesome, Jabari. I hope the business is super successful. Yes, we're sending out the prosperity vibes for you, Jabari, and everyone listening. Yes, soon, Bob, for sure. Jabari, Lauren, I feel where you're coming from now. The house plants sound fun. Thanks. You're, yeah. I mean, it's not heartbreaking to me at all. I just don't, and like, honestly, a lot of my friends that have kids are like, oh my God, you made the right decision. It fucking sucks. Like, it's just being in the thick of it with, kids is really difficult sometimes. So Jabari, thanks, Bob. Bob, you're very welcome, Jabari. Health, wealth to you and your family. Yes, health, wealth vibes to everyone. Hell yeah, Jabari and Bob. I love when you guys support each other. That's so awesome. Bob, I like a healthy challenge. Yes. Well, I think I'm going to hop off soon. Excellent questions, you guys. And like, excellent celebrating your wins and all the progress and wins that you guys are making. And so, like I was saying at the beginning of the live stream, about really deciding like that you're going to have the best week and month ever. Like, first of all, before you write down any goals or anything, just decide this is going to be the best, most prosperous, biggest, whatever, like most loving, most liberating, whatever it is that you want. this gets to happen this month. That you're just making that decision. When you decide something, you literally cut off all other possibilities. That is what decide means. So you're getting really laser focused about that, one. And then the second thing is like, go back and write everything. I'm committing to doing this in every area of my life, my health, wealth, relationships, career, my connection with source or God, whatever you call it. And like, let's really like celebrate our wins, hold each other accountable. If you have an accountability buddy, definitely lean on them this month for that, and really commit to yourself like you've never committed to yourself before. Even if it's a mindset shift around worthiness, especially if you're an entrepreneur like Jabari, it's like, my services are highly valuable and people pay me top dollar for them. So Jabari, like, you go into every interaction and that's how you think about yourself in general. I'm the best in my industry, and the services I provide are so valuable, and people happily pay me top dollar for what I do. Even just that mindset shift will lead to other outcomes that work in your favor. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go work out. Go to the gym, do your push-ups. Jabari, Lauren, I appreciate it. You are so welcome. Yes, we'll hold each other accountable. On Wednesday, I'll be live streaming again. We could celebrate our wins. Let me eat dinner first. I'm cooking right now. Peter, I really ask the question to myself, why do you want kids? And typically the answer has been, it is what happens. I need to want to have kids. I understand what you mean. Yeah. I think the people that should have kids are people that like love being parents and really want to do that, especially like for that first like 18 years. It's like, you got to be all in, you don't just have kids for how it looks. And some people do that. But I know some parents that are just like so amazing. They're amazing parents, and they are like, it's a full-time job, Um, I want kids. I'm trying to, what does that say? I'm trying to save up. Girlfriend wants them. Cooking by next year. Cooking by next year. Well, okay, let's like manifest that though too, right? Because kids are expensive. There's always, things to pay for and everything. But what if you put yourself in that mindset of, and by the way, I would recommend, let me just back up for a second. I would recommend just completely being on the same page about that, because also when and this is just like feminine, masculine energy, like to have the healthiest dynamic, when especially in like the last trimester, she probably shouldn't be working. And then like during the first really year, like you can work, you can, and you'll want to, but like the women that have the best balance and feel like, okay, I could show up for my husband and my baby and like just work part-time, and then your body's healing. It's a big trauma to your body, and so there's a lot going on. There's a lot of energy shifts like within the relationship, so you want to be prepared for all of that. But like, what if you manifested like that family? You have your chickens in the woods like we talked about last week, Bob, and then you have your family that is cooking with more than enough money and resources for all of that. Like, what does that look like? Start to get that like vision in your mind of how that looks. And you have X amount of money in this account, and then this is for saved up for this, and not in a worried, you're not worried about it like, oh my God, it's just there. Because money can show up like that. Money is just energy. So if we concentrate and we think about like, okay, this is how my family life looks, this is how my financial situation looks, start to implement that into your consciousness. No, I totally know what you mean. That's cute. Jabari, Bob, that's amazing. I'm excited for you. Yes. I think, Bob, like, you'll be an amazing dad. I think any person that has done the work to work on themselves, those are the people that should be having kids. Peter, the parents I know mostly complain about their kids. Not saying that's wrong, but I need to some joy. Maybe I haven't met the right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like it should be a very conscious decision. Yeah, we still have some discussing to do, but we're on the same page with all the major stuff. Awesome. She is not allowed to work during and after. Yes. I love that. Yes, you like when women feel safe and taken care of, they're in their full feminine energy. That is when the feminine and masculine energy has this good synergy to it. If the woman feels like she's doing too much, she's in her masculine, then she starts to resent the man, and so and typically that means like that man is too in his feminine, is like wanting to, not be the provider protector. So that's so good that you understand that, Bob. Jabari, Lauren, I feel like if it's coming from a place of love, as you're saying, yeah, absolutely. Stephen, keep her safe and secure. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Bob gets it. Appreciate all the kind words. Yes. On the mission, Stephen. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to let you guys get to your push ups, and I'll probably do my sit ups. I didn't do them today. And excellent questions, everyone. I'm so excited. And so even like when I meditate and do my manifesting and all of that, I like manifest for you guys too. So I'm gonna do all of that. I'm gonna think about everything going well and everyone having a happy, healthy, prosperous family and life, where you get to have whatever you want. And I love you guys. I will see you guys on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. Bob, thank you so much for holding it down. Bob wasn't sure if he'd be able to make it today. So like, thank you so much for helping us and moderating. Pleasure as always. Glad I made it home. I'm so glad you did too. I can't, like, when you joined, it didn't even feel like it was the second half. It flew by, but thank you, because it is a lot to try to do both. And they didn't get to, it's like, I feel like the trolls could like sense your energy, because when you came in, then they started coming in. So I appreciate it, like, for holding it down in here, keeping these streets clean. And yes, I'm sending you all like the most amazing energy. You guys, whatever you're manifesting in your life, you're getting a lot faster than you think. I'm super excited for you. Yes, rejection is redirection. Remember that. It's really not even like rejection, it's just redirection. Bob, I know, right? There was like a quick troll flood. Exactly. Amazing live, Lauren, sending love to everyone too. Oh, good. Yes, lots of love here. Love you guys. And maybe on Wednesday we'll talk more about like the community, if we should do a what's it called? A Discord or not. I'm still thinking about that, but I would like to do a community that has like different tiers. You're welcome, Stephen. But anyway, we'll talk about that again later. All right. I love you. Have an amazing Sunday. This is going to be the best week and the best month for you guys. Okay. I'm excited for you. I'm manifesting for you. And I love you so much. Bye. Night, night. I'll see you guys Wednesday.